This lesson will focus on how to multiply complex numbers, and those are, again, things that have i's or imaginary numbers in them. So we will treat this just as we would any other way. We just have to remember a couple of little rules when we go ahead and simplify. So when we distribute this 6 through, we'll have 6 times 6, which is 36, and 6 times 4i, which of course we know is 24i. And we'll continue. Negative 4i times 6 is negative 24i. And negative 4i times positive 4i is negative 16i squared. And now we've got a little bit of simplifying to do. This negative 24i and positive 24i will cancel each other out and make 0. So now what I have left is 36 minus 16 times I squared. But what we need to remember is that I squared is really negative 1. So we have negative 16 times negative 1, which turns into positive 16 instead. So we have 36 plus 16, which we know makes 52. In the next one, very common mistake would be to take the 8 and square it, and to take the negative 11i and square it. But remember that when you have something that's squared, that it really means to multiply it by itself. So you need to take negative 11, or 8 minus 11i times 8 minus 11i. You need to multiply it by itself when you're squaring it. So again, I will distribute this through, and I will have 8 times 8, which is 64. And 8 times negative 11i would make negative 88i. And then negative 11i times 8, which is again negative 88i. And negative 11i times negative 11i is positive 121i squared. All right, so now we've got a little bit of simplifying to do here too. So I have this 64 that I can bring down. I have negative 88i and negative 88i, which makes negative 176i. And then here I have 121 times I squared, which is negative 1. Okay, and so that really turns into negative 121. And now you can combine the 64 and the negative 121, and you can rewrite that as negative 57 minus 176i. And just so you know, in accelerated math, they might have that the other way around also and have it be negative 176i minus 57. And if they do, it is the same answer, and that is okay. All right, and then one here where we're doing just a little bit of more distributing here. I don't know that I really need to do this, but I will do this for you. So here we go. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times negative 5i is negative 20i. Then I distribute the 3i through. 3i times 2 is 6i. And 3i times negative 5i would be negative 15i squared. All right, so I have this 8. These two I can combine. Negative 20i plus 6i is negative 14i. And here I have negative 15 times I squared, which is really negative 1. And so then negative 15 times negative 1 becomes positive 15. And then I can combine that 8 and that 15 to make 23 minus 14i. I can't combine anything that has an I in it with something that doesn't have an I in it, just so you know. Okay, and then I'm going to skip this one, and we're going to go here where we just sort of combine a couple of our rules. So I'm going to, again, need to distribute and then combine some like terms. So I have I times negative 4i, which gives me negative 4i squared. And I times negative 8 gives me negative 8i. And then I have a positive 3 times 2, which gives me 6. And 3 times negative 8i gives me negative 24i. All right, so negative 4 times I squared is negative 1. So really this becomes 4, a positive 4 right there. And I can combine that 4 with that 6 to make 10. And then I have negative 8i and negative 24i, which gives me negative 32i.